Hey, sunshine. Don't you wish you could create consistent content without all the stress, without all the guilt because you didn't follow through and you weren't consistent? I totally get it. A few years ago, I created something that changed it for me. It changed it all and it helped me actually be consistent and put out content on a regular basis. So if you want to get rid of the stress and finally be consistent with your content, then grab your coffee, 'cause it's time to rise and it's always time to shine. So let's do this. Welcome back to Rise and Shine Sunshine, the weekly live stream that gives you tips and tools and creative ways to shine online. I am Nika Stewart and I help you show up and shine as the unique, brilliant superstar that you are. And I am founder of Shine-365, a network for entrepreneurial women. Check it out. Today, I am going behind the scenes in this area here. All you see is a wall and a curtain, and sometimes a few other things that I take off and put on and all that stuff. I'm going to share with you my studio. Why? Because when I created a dedicated space in my home, and it's really a lot less of a space and less organized than you may think. So I want to share how you can do it. Because when I created the space and then I had a place to go to for creating videos, I started creating videos. Because when I wanted to create videos before I had this space, I always had an excuse. The sunlight wasn't right, or it was a mess, or things were unorganized, or I just couldn't find the right space and the right lighting. And now I took that excuse away. So anytime I want to create content, I just come into this little corner of my basement and it's all set up. So the excuse for not creating, there were lots of excuses for not going live and not creating videos. Those excuses are gone now. Totally gone, because I created a space. And I'm going to show you how you can do the same thing. And if you want to get all these notes, I'm putting this together. My team is actually putting together the notes right now as I'm sharing these things with you. So not only a list of the things that I'm going to share with you, but links to actually get these things if you're interested, to make it super easy and simple for you. Hashtag notes. If you type hashtag notes, my team is putting this together and you will have the notes with the links by the end of the day. So just let me know by writing hashtag notes and we will give you access to the notes from today's show. So we're going to have a lot of fun. I actually purchased a new little tool so that I could walk around and show you my studio. And last week we had insane headaches. I did. I had technical difficulties. So I'm a little bit nervous that this may not work, but it's supposed to connect my phone camera to you so that we can go back and forth. And I'm going to show you what I see right here and see if it works. Ooh, infinity effect. Ooh, I hate that. But this is my computer. I will come back to me in the studio, but I'm going to walk around and show you all of the different parts of my studio. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions on anything, and I will help you. So good morning to all of you beautiful friends. Hello, my handsome friend, Michael. Thank you for joining me. I can't wait to show you my studio. And then you'll have to come over and we'll have to do an interview with you sitting next to me in the studio. One of the things I have in my studio is a second chair for people like Michael and let's see, and Kiwi, and Anna, and Mahida, and all of you, and someone named Moans Cutely. You can come on over and sit in the chair too. And good morning, Darla. Hello, my friend. So let's take a look around the studio. I'm going to start actually by saying Wi-Fi or a connection to the internet when you're going live is extremely important, but if you're creating videos, not so important. But you're gonna see an extra wire here that I have because I wanna make sure that my connection is the best it can be so that we don't have problems like we had last week, which had nothing to do with the internet or Wi-Fi. It was just the app on my computer crashing. But let's get started. And I also wanna say, hey, I normally sit here the entire show, and that means that I don't always change my pajama pants. So I don't always wear pants on my shows. Thank goodness, a few minutes before we went live, I remembered that I would be standing up in this show. So I quickly put on a pair of pants. So you won't be seeing my pajama pants right now. So let us get started by telling you that this is, I'm going to back up and show you what you see over here. This is what you see from my camera. So my camera is right here. And you see from here, me sitting. So I'm going to go down where my camera normally is. I'm sitting in this chair and you see a little of the background, right? Sometimes you see this sign that says cafe, but because I'm short, you usually only see this. And someone mentioned to me recently, they didn't really know what an AF or an AFI is. So today I decided to cut that out, and I realized I'm going to lower that sign a bit for the people, for me, actually. Oh, here I am. For people like me, for me, because I'm short. So, so this is what I have in front of me. We'll start with my computer. I have a MacBook. And the reason that I have a MacBook, I always had a Mac. Mac is my computer. And until recently, I did not have a dedicated Mac or computer for videos and live streams. But that was okay because all I had to do was bring my laptop into my studio area, and then I was ready to do my live streaming. However, I always thought I wanted a dedicated computer because that just gives me one less excuse. Like I can come into the space and everything is here. Until recently, I had to also bring my laptop with me. I never felt justified in buying another Mac because I wanted to use a Mac because I'm used to a Mac. I prefer a Mac over a PC. And the software that I use to go live is called Ecamm, and that only works on a Mac. And Macs are more expensive than PCs. Like I thought I could buy an inexpensive PC as an additional computer, but I want a Mac. So recently I needed to get a new Mac for my business. And so I took my old one and deleted everything on it. And now that is the computer that I have sitting here on my desk. Now, one thing I want you to, this morning I was going to clean up the mess around here. This is my basement. So I was going to clean everything up, and then I thought, hello in the mirror. Then I thought, I really want to show you how you can do this anywhere. So this is, and I'm going to show you again, and I have to speak loudly because I didn't put on, I don't think there's extra audio. Tell me if it sounds okay. But I'm further away now, so I don't think you can hear me as closely. But I have this space in the corner of my basement. It's a messy basement. My daughter has a space here for her school and for going for Zooms and things like that. But it's just a corner of the basement. And even with all this mess, you don't see any of this. It's embarrassing to me. However, I can still come into this space and you don't see any of that. So if you even just have a corner of your bedroom, you want to put a few things in, you can do this and take away all those excuses about, you know, the lighting and the mess and all that. No, you have a space to go that is perfectly ready and organized for your videos. So it gets a little quieter. Thank you for letting me know, Kiwi. And thank you, Stephanie, for letting me know that you can still hear. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so the space. The first thing you do is you just find a space, a dedicated space, a corner, a piece of a closet. That's all you need. It actually is fine and even better if it doesn't have windows and sunlight, because I'm going to talk about some lighting. The challenge with sunlight, if you're going to do video or take pictures, you want the sun to be in front of you. So a window in front of you, not behind you, because then you can't see your face. That's great if the sun is good, if it's the right time of day, if it's not too sunny or too dark. The challenge with sunlight is it is unpredictable and unreliable. So I even have a window here, as you can see, a little light peeking over the top. But because the light would sometimes shine through, at different times of the day, the light shines through and it makes a weird glare. So I covered the window. So if you just have a dark closet, amazing. You don't then have the problem of sun getting in your way. So pick your space. Here's something else. Now, I'm going to actually put this down and just show you here. This is a wall. If I touch it, it moves a little bit because all it is a vinyl photograph that I bought on Amazon. And I have a link for you in the notes. Hashtag notes. We're going to send you all of this with links. I tacked this. I'm going to show you how terrible it looks in real life. At the top of the ceiling, I just put in some tacks. And it's tacked to the ceiling. And then hangs down, and it's a fake wall. But underneath this is just a white wall, right? So it gives it some texture and some, a little more interest to the space by having just something hanging there. I think it was around $30, $40 maybe, and it depends on the size. You can get smaller ones, less expensive, larger ones, and they're all different prices, but very reasonable. So I pinned this backdrop down. I hung a curtain because the backdrop didn't go all the way to the end, and I wanted another little texture there. And then I have things that I sometimes have on my wall, but sometimes take down. And I'm planning on adding these lights, like string lights. I have a shelf, a hashtag, these adorable things that my friend Michael sent me, which are superheroes, like the breast cancer themed Wonder Woman and Superman for me and my superhero husband, helping me go through that. So that's the backdrop, and you can put whatever you want behind you. I would say brand it to you. Just make it fun and make it you. Then like I said, I have this computer, and then I have this camera, which I have on a little tripod, but it also hooks right onto your computer. And this is something I do want you to know. When I first started going live streaming, I am a part of a group that are professional camera and live streamers and videographers. I thought I needed to get a professional camera. And for years, even though I started with a webcam, I kept thinking, I'm going to upgrade. It's not good enough until I have that. About a year ago, I thought to myself, this is good enough and it's perfect. It's perfect the way it is. I may upgrade to a more professional camera, and then the quality will be even more sharp and amazing. But this is fine for what I'm doing. It's a Logitech webcam. You can use the webcam on your camera. The external webcams that you just USB plug in make it a little stronger quality. Michael says, it's a basement. 99% of folks have a messy basement. That's cool that you only need a corner of the room. Right, it's true, right? It's just a tiny corner. It looks bigger, I believe, on camera than it is. Many people I know are in a 4-foot wide closet. That's all you need. And I'm going to talk about the lighting for a minute because that is important. So the lighting is important because if it's dark, no one sees you. So what I have, the camera is a Logitech webcam. I'll show it to you. I don't know if, it doesn't seem like it's very clear, like the focus is very good. But it's my Logitech. I don't know why it's not focusing, sorry. And it's on a tripod. And it also has audio in it. So my mic and my camera are in this little thing right in front of me I feel like, yes, there are ways to upgrade, but this is so uncomplicated. And the more you upgrade, the more complicated it gets. It may look more professional, and that's the plus. The challenge is it's more complicated. And so there's more things to remember and focus on. And like today, I wanted to add another audio, a lavalier, so that when I walk around, you still hear the sound. But it's another layer, it's another thing to plug in, it's another button. And so I decided not to do that today because I like simple. So good to see you, B. It has been so long. Hello, B, and hello, y'all. And Stephanie, isn't it easy? I would love to see you create a little space in your home because you can kind of show the space and then turn your phone and say, look, I'm also a mess, because I know that you say that. I'm not just calling Stephanie a mess. I'm a hot mess, but I also can, have it all together. I think that would be a lot of fun. And yes, uncomplicated, Darla says. Uncomplicated is all you need. So I'm showing you things that I have upgraded to over a few years. You want to start with just your phone to do videos? Excellent. But I still suggest that you have a dedicated space, because then even with your phone, you go, I want to create a video, go to your space, turn on your phone. No more excuses. All the other things I'm now going to show you are fun, not necessary, but things to think about upgrading to as you go. And like I said, there are many, many more things that I have not upgraded to yet. I may never upgrade to them because I'm cool if I stayed with this, but there are fun things that I may add to make things unfortunately more complicated, but uncomplicated is the best path to consistency. What a great quote. Everyone remember that. That is a shine bomb. Uncomplicated is the best, if I could say it, it's probably easier to write it. Uncomplicated is the best path to consistency. So a simple space with a backdrop and some lighting that I'm now going to show you, and your phone, there you go, uncomplicated. Now, before I show you the lighting, I do want to show you this cool thing that I wanted, and I wonder why I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to figure out the whole focus of my phone, which is not focusing in this new tool that I got so that I could use my phone as a camera. This is a Stream Deck. It's called a Stream Deck. If I'm back here, maybe you can see it. I don't know. The focus is not working. So, but what it is a tool that connects to and I'm going to click this right now, and you're going to see things change, right? You saw it change. I was looking at my phone. It helps me know where, so like when I say it's time to rise and get your coffee, it's time to shine, I click a button and I'm looking at you, and people think that there's like another person behind the scenes producing the show, but it's just me having my finger here and looking at the camera. And when I say it's time to rise and shine, all I have to do, my finger's already here. I say, grab your coffee, it's time to rise, and it's always time to shine. So let's do this. And then it comes back to me, and I have my hands here, and it looks like someone is producing this. But this Stream Deck, which again I have in the notes, #notes if you want these notes, and a link to it, it helps me be a one-woman show and have things fly in, and I can change to the main camera, add the overlay, I could change to a different camera, I can add overlays by just like pushing a button. I can kind of glance over and push it and not have to be like searching. And I used to have to push buttons on my computer, and now I could just push these little buttons here and it changes, and it makes it a one-woman show but looking more upgraded. That's something that took me a few years to get, and last year during the pandemic for my birthday, I asked, my husband said, what do you want for your birthday? I said, I want that Stream Deck with all the keys. And he bought it for me, and then it took months for me to set it up. I was also going through cancer treatments, but that gave me like a fun project to work on, and now I cannot live without it. It is so functional because I have all the buttons that you see, and I'm going to show you. So all these buttons are for my show, but I can go over here and I have different folders for different shows and different reasons. So right now I have the Rise and Shine show, and you can do as many buttons as you want. So cool. I now have to remember what camera I'm on because I'm looking at you as, as the phone cam was on. Okay, so that's the Stream Deck. Let me talk about my lighting. And lighting, this is what I learned from the professionals. When you're doing live streaming and video, the simplest way to do lighting is to have two lights that are slightly above you, but 45 degrees. One is 45 degrees this way, and then some shadows show up here. So there's another light coming 45 degrees this way, which counteracts the shadows, and now it's perfect. A third light is helpful, and that is above your head on the ceiling going down. It's called a hair light. I love telling the story about a hair light because I started doing more live streams with my hair light last year when I had no hair, and the glare on my bald head was too much, so I usually had to wear a hat or turn off the hair light, but it gives some dimension. So I have, and I will show you this. Let me show you the lights, and I listed them from Amazon, really inexpensive, I think $70 to $80 for the two lights, a light kit. So let me show you that. So here in my messy basement is one of the lights, and here is the other. And as you can see, because I'm facing this way, and this is a light facing 45 degrees. This is another light facing 45 degrees, a little higher than my head. And up on the ceiling is a regular light. So I happen to choose this space, and one of the reasons was the light, the hair light. I didn't have to buy another light. It's just a ceiling light. So if you want to choose a space where there is a light above your head and like maybe a few inches behind, it's called a hair light. It gives some dimension and space and texture, and I don't know all the technical reasons for it, but it looks good. So let me show you what it looks like without these lights on. So now I just have the hair light on. It's kind of an interesting look. It gives a mood. I probably could go live like this for some kind of interesting mood. But once this is on, and it's too bright for a second and then it's fine, once I turn it off, it feels way too dark. And again, these lights were, when you're investing in your space, $70 to $80. It's an investment, but compared to lighting that I've heard in the professional studios, very reasonable. And they've lasted for many, many years. I haven't had to replace any of the light bulbs or anything. The hair light acts as the boom. Is that what it's called? The boom light? Is that true, Beatrice? How cool. Interesting to know. Yes, so we can do Halloween shows in this lighting, right? And what's cool is that light gives it, like without that light, and I'm not near the switch for that one, so I can't turn it off, but then it would just be flat looking. That light gives it the extra dimension, and as Beatrice called it, a boom. It's the boom man. So this is something else I want to show you. This is something I got on Amazon, I believe $12. And what it is a remote control for my lights, because I used to come in and have to turn on one light and turn on the other light, turn on my computer, turn on all this. Now I save, this is just all right here. So this is my lighting is number 2. So I turn on the lights and then I turn off the lights and I just come in and turn it on. I don't have I have one other thing plugged, but you can have, all you do is you plug something that comes with this into your outlet. And then I plugged my lights into that outlet that's now plugged into my outlet. And now that's attached to one of these things. How cool that I could sit down and it feels so upgraded and professional to just like, I'm going to turn on my computer. I'm going to turn on. It's kind of like I saw a professional create a studio for someone and they wanted to walk in and push just an on button and everything goes on. But how do I do that? I have switches here and this here and this turns on. With this remote control, you could practically turn on your whole studio. Walk in, turn it on. Another excuse is gone. You have the space and everything is just turned on. even though I had the dedicated space, this is one less thing to think about. Walking in, I have my space, but I still have to walk in and go over here, turn on this light, over here, turn on this light, over here. No, now I walk in and I sit down and I turn everything on right here. Pretty cool. So this is something that I linked to in the show notes. Let me see what else. So we talked about the camera, we talked about the lights, the remote control, the backdrop. The one thing that it's hard to see, actually, you know what? I can show it to you if this will focus, but it doesn't seem to focus. I am on Ecamm. And that means that I can see comments here. I could see my different scenes. I put all of these scenes over here into my Stream Deck. So instead of having to click on my computer, I click all the way over here. I just move this to near my hand, and that's so much easier. But Ecamm, I'm going to click this now. Ecamm is what I use through Mac to stream, to be able to have these overlays and different scenes and different cameras. You can go live straight on your computer to YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. But if you use something like Ecamm, you have all the upgrades available to you. And when you attach it to Stream Deck, woo, so much fun. Things like confetti, which sometimes doesn't work. So anything you want can throw in. You can put overlays. You can put all the things that you've seen. I can do sounds. Like I could do sounds. What do you think of that sound? Oh, you like it. Thank you. Thank you. Someone didn't like it. Okay, so that's what I use Ecamm for. I use my Mac computer. The other thing that is helpful is I have a desk. I have kind of a desk, a table, and really it's an art table. Oops, let me change to this. It is really, and there's my pillow. This is it was an art desk, an adjustable height art desk, and that's where I put everything. So I sit here in my stool, and because I am short, I use this pillow on the stool. I sit here, I look at the camera and the computer to see what you see. I use my Stream Deck keys. I have my coffee cup. I have another computer to look to see what you're seeing on Facebook. I could switch the tabs and look at YouTube, etc., etc. I have my notes here. I have my coffee that I'm drinking. I have Shonda the Shinicorn with me in case she wants to join me. I always have my mustache in case I mustache you a question. I always have my mustache here for that reason. So like I was saying, the table, a bar stool I happen to like. It could be any chair, but I like to be higher up. I'm not really sure why. I like to be sitting up higher. And today I thought I needed a second pillow, but I thought that would be kind of cumbersome. What else is there to show you? I think that is everything in my studio. Did I miss something that you saw that you would like information on? Let me know. And let me see. So B is talking about the 3-point lighting system. Left, right, and boom is the overhead light. Thank you yes, I remember now that's what it's called, 3-point lighting system. And I didn't know about the boom term. So thank you for that, B. There's more comments. What sound microphone do you use? On the camera, on the laptop? Great question. And I see a few other questions. Stick around. The microphone that I am using is in the Logitech webcam. And even though I know that I could get a better quality audio if I had a separate audio, and I have gotten one and will be upgrading that probably in the next few weeks. For years, I have used just the audio in the Logitech because totally uncomplicated, totally simple. The audio and video is in one space. I click a button and it gives me, and I am human and will sometimes forget to click a button. And I've seen too many people go live or do a video and then realize the first 30 seconds there's no sound. I know that would happen for me, and I just love that it's in one place. So the Logitech, I believe it's a C9 930 or 930C. It doesn't say on it. I've always wondered, but I had to remember what I got, so I looked it up. So it's in the notes. The webcam, external webcam, it plugs in with a USB into my computer, and it's audio and video. I love it. But yes, there are lots of other audios that work. The one that I am going to try out probably in a week or two is a Rode lavalier. It's cordless and it will attach to me. And then if I walk around, which I usually don't, the sound will go with me. Key was asking, does the camera on your Mac cost money? The webcam that comes with your computer, so it doesn't cost extra money. But the webcam that I am using is an external webcam because it's a step up and a slightly better picture. I have other abilities to focus and to zoom in the back end, and that did cost, I believe, $90. It's less expensive now, and I see these webcams for anywhere from $40 to $60. So yes, that does cost money, the external webcam that has audio and video in it. And Ecamm also is a cost. It's a monthly cost, but they have different levels. And I think there might be a trial and a special going on right now. But yeah, that's somewhere around $10 to $20 a month. And let's see what Michael is showing. An autofocus microphone. Okay, I will have to check that one out. Thank you. There's so much. Oh, $55. Built-in dual stereo microphones with noise canceling technology. Yeah, I thank you. I'm going to look into that. I have several microphones, and I also have let's see, several microphones, and I think I lost my my train of thought. But I've tried several microphones, but again, it's an extra input, which puts extra stress on my computer, which means I should get an upgraded computer. And yes, all of these things would make our live streams and videos better. But I'm really good with what I have right now. So I'm still and always looking in for ways to upgrade. But the one thing you do need to remember, and like B said, uncomplicated is the quickest path to consistency. The more you complicate it, the more you upgrade it, the more complicated it is, which is great. The pro is it's more professional looking and more upgraded. The con is you have a little more time figuring it out and a few extra tools and buttons that have the chance of going a little wrong. And thank you. Chrissy is putting in the Facebook page comments links to some of the things that we're talking about. But I believe that is everything, unless there were other questions. Hello to all of you coming in late. Feel free to go watch the replay. And if you want these notes and links to all of most of the things that I have talked about today, feel free to type in #notes. That automatically gives you a link to pick up the notes, which will be available later today. And hello, Daria. If you're not on the Facebook page, I will come and look for you and get you those notes if you're interested. And yeah, so bottom line, my suggestion is to create a dedicated space so that almost every excuse that you have for not creating videos and creating content and being consistent will go away. That is the biggest reason for creating a dedicated space for your content creation. It has worked magic for me. After I created the space, I started doing more videos. As I started recovering from my treatments last year, I started this show and have gone live every week, except 1 week when I was having surgery. But I have been consistent. It had been a dream for years, having a consistent presence and a consistent show. Creating this space, that's what did it for me. And recovering from cancer. But that's not usually something you have to deal with. So thank you guys. I see your amazingly beautiful comments, and I will come back and chat with you on YouTube about those things. Thank you. I send love right back to you. And honestly, your comments and support and love has helped me get through the last year. can't say enough about how much I love you and your support. So thank you for joining me. Create your studio. It doesn't have to be professional, and it so doesn't have to be perfect, because it can't be, because nothing is ever perfect. So just create a space. If you want to get a few of the things that I mentioned, grab my notes and get a few of those things, and then let me know how your studio is going. So until next week, make sure you join me next Friday at, I believe, noon Eastern, although today we went live at a special time, but I am here every Friday for Rise and Shine. Until then, don't forget to choose happy, spread joy, and shine unapologetically, because the world needs more you. Love you, my friends. See you next week.